First things first, we got to take an Allen wrench, take that bolt out, and take that screw out. And then on the other side, there's two more. So let me go ahead and get that off, and we'll show you where everything else is. Now that we've got that cover off, there is your oil filter. There is your drain plug. So let me go ahead and pop that drain plug, get rid of that old oil, and I'll show you where to fill it back up. All right, so here is where you're going to fill your oil. This is actually an aftermarket cap. It's a little twist off cap, but this actually looks a lot better. So you need a T55 to take this off. So we're going to go ahead and loosen that up. Go ahead and grab that, take it off, and then we'll do the drain plug next and let gravity do its thing. So I went ahead and grabbed a 12mm socket. Let's go ahead and unloosen that drain plug. And couldn't have got it more perfect. Okay, so normally you would take a oil filter wrench, but I don't have the right size. I am going to improvise. So let's go ahead. Loosen that up. Works every time. So after you get that oil filter off, make sure you just wipe off excess and make sure you clean it up good. Don't want to put the new one back on there, and make sure the gasket actually did come off of this old oil filter. And then just continue to let all the rest of it drain out, and then we'll put it back together. So make sure you go ahead and get you a little bit of oil, new oil, and just put it around that gasket right there. Just make sure it gets a little bit around it before we put that back on. So let's go ahead and screw that in. Be careful, don't cross thread this. That would not be good. So we're going to just get it hand tight, and then it calls for 14 pounds of torque, and usually when I bump it, that's about 14 pounds of torque. I'm not going to use a torque wrench. I'm going to use common sense. So now I've pretty much got it hand tight, so I'm going to go ahead and use a 17mm, and we're going to just give it a little bump. All right, we should be good to go. Don't want to over tighten it. That should be 14 pounds torque. And let's fill her up. So I'm going to go ahead and take this funnel, and we're going to stick that in the fill. And here is a little gauge. This is pretty cool because you can tell if you're going to overfill it or don't have enough oil. There's a line right here. That's the minimum. And this line right here is the max. So I'm going to go ahead and put a quart in. Let's go ahead and start with the second quart. I want to show you guys this oil fill line. So it's pretty much right there. This calls for 2 quarts of oil and a quarter. So I've already put 2 quarts in. It's pretty much right about where it needs to be, but we're going to add just a little bit more because this is not sitting perfectly level. We've got it on a jack stand. We're going to put just a little bit more in there, and we'll run it, and then we'll recheck it. After you've got it all filled up, go ahead and put that cap back on and grab your T55 and give it a little bump, and you should be good to go. All right, well, we're pretty much wrapped up there, and that was a pretty easy oil change. So he's good to go for a while. And just make sure when you get riding and get back home, just check it, make sure there's no leaks. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all watching this. If y'all enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Until next time, see y'all.